cheers to you for clicking on this video today. This is another example of me reading the book specifically to watch the movie, to bring you a book versus movie video. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel at least twice a week, and then movie reviews or this kind of book to movie content at the weekend as well. All of my social links are in the description box below, including my blog and my Goodreads, so you can keep up with my reading in between times. You will have seen, if you are following me on Goodreads, that I was reading this book in preparation for watching the new Netflix adaptation. Yes, today we are going to be talking about Rebecca, based on the novel by Daphne Du Maurier, and I will leave a playlist of the rest of my book versus movie videos linked up above. I did say in previous videos that there were a few of them coming, and so that's why you've basically had a week filled with book versus movie videos, but they are some of my favorite videos to make. And just that disclaimer that I always make at the beginning of a book versus movie video, I completely understand that when a writer sells the rights to their novel, that movie or TV adaptation can be so completely different from the novel. It is just the concept that they are selling. I know that when we have an author on board as a screenwriter, that it's going to be a little bit close to the novel, but I love looking at the similarities and differences and ultimately telling you at the end of this video which I prefer. I do have my full autumn sweatshirt on today. It was actually an autumnal day here in Denver today, which is very unusual. We quite often skip straight from summer to winter, then back to summer, then back to winter again. But it was a little bit drizzly, a little bit foggy. The leaves were looking a bit mushy. I was like, oh, feels like autumn back home. So I did specifically listen to this audiobook so that I could watch the movie. Obviously, I was aware of Rebecca, but I had no idea what the story was about. You know, I could tell you who wrote it. That's about it. But shockingly, if you've been following this channel for a little while now, you will know that I am not a fan of a classic. I do not get on well with the classics, and occasionally I will try and read one for an adaptation like this and really not enjoy it. But I enjoyed this book. I really enjoyed this book. I enjoyed listening to it. I like the fact that it's like a bit gothic and a bit mysterious and a bit spooky. Of course, this review is going to be spoiler free, obviously. But also there's a little bit of romance in there, and I like the fact that you're left with some mystery as well. And I do feel like the film, you kind of got that similar feeling that, you know, it was a bit spooky and a little bit gothic, but there was some romance in there as well. And I think that Lily James and Armie Hammer really did have that kind of awkward chemistry that you get in the book because of the time period that it was written and the time period that it's set in. You have to have that kind of awkward chemistry because it's so like forced and so like formal, and I think that they did pull off that like awkward chemistry. I think that some people watching this, there has been a lot of criticism of this film, and I think that some people watching this will see them actually not having chemistry on screen and see that as a bad thing because, you know, we want our couple to have chemistry. But I really think that in the book they had this awkward chemistry. There was some definite passion in there, and I feel like they were holding back because of his position in society and her position or lack thereof in society, and so I feel like they did have to hold back, and they were just really into each other, but society dictated that they couldn't really show it. And I feel like you kind of, if you get to the more towards the end of the film, you kind of see that coming out a little bit more, definitely. But I thought that the casting was great. I knew who'd been cast in what before reading the book. So in my head, you know, Max was Armie Hammer and our narrator was Lily James. But the best casting choice, in my opinion, was 100% Kristen Scott Thomas. I love her in everything. I was watching this going, really have to go away and watch Four Weddings and a Funeral now, because I love her, and she's just so adaptable, and she's just, in this, she is so the like creepy, scorned housekeeper that's always got this ulterior motive. Her attitude difference with the staff and with Max and with Mrs. De Winter is just, the way it changes, it's just so fabulous. And even just the things that she does with her eyes, like when we just see this like fleeting glance, or this like something's really upset her, something's really offended her. I really love when we get to see that, and she's just fabulous. I think this was really well cast. I feel a little bit like I was definitely more engaged by the book than the movie. I think that the book, because it's a classic, you expect it to have slower pacing, and the movie itself is quite slow paced. It's 2 hours 3 minutes, so you know, it's not the shortest of films, but it's not the longest of films, but it's definitely a slower paced film, and I think that that suits the book a little bit more than it does the film. I don't think the film managed to pull off the same pacing as the book, I watched this with Ollie, and he said that he thought it was a bit kind of formulaic, and that's kind of led to the, maybe not the slowness of it, but the feeling, the like perception of slowness, which again is unusual, that I would take a classic and be like, the film was a bit slower than the book. But I really enjoyed the book. I found that the way the book kind of carried on, and we had that like first person narration, which we get a little bit of in the film, which is quite satisfying. But I think the fact that the book is first person narration, whereas the film we get to see things playing out on screen, I think that kind of helps as well, helps the book be just a little bit more compelling. I really loved the cinematography in the film. I like the fact that we generally had scenes in one complete color. So like when they were at the beach, it was all very like golden hues and like, you know, very gold glowing tones. And then we've got these scenes where it's like really dark blue, really dark green, these kind of silvery gray scenes. I really like the way that they did that. And most of the scenes involving Mrs. Danvers are very dark, and that's really interesting to me. So yeah, I think that the film did a decent job, but I definitely did overall, are you sitting down, enjoy the book more than the film, which I think probably, if you have been following the channel for a little while, going into this, you will be surprised by that, because it is a classic, and I generally don't get on as well with classics, but there we have it. Yes. Let me know in the comments, have you seen the Netflix adaptation? What did you think? I heard that the previous adaptation of this book was not good at all, so I'm hoping that this one has done a better job. It was certainly well cast. I think we can all agree on that. But yeah, let me know, have you seen it? What did you think? Is the book a favourite of yours? I never knew that it was one of my mum's favourites, so I found that out through reading this, and I did do it on audiobook, and it had that classic thing of kind of the sort of more period audiobook where we had the plummy English accents, and then we had the rural English accents, and like just that division. I think the film does that a little bit as well, but yeah. As I say, let me know in comments if you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments, as always, if there is a particular movie to book to movie adaptation or book to TV show adaptation that you would like me to read and watch and bring my thoughts on here. I am always open to suggestion. Make sure you are subscribed so that my next bookish video lands in your subscription feed, or indeed movie review, and hit that notification bell to be notified as soon as I post. There are some new to streaming films coming up soon that I'm going to be reviewing for you here, so you don't want to miss out on that one. I've got one of my sort of most anticipated films of the year coming up for review on Sunday, so definitely don't want to miss that one. So yes, I will see you with that movie review on Sunday. Thanks for watching.